Today, the Mercury Marine destination takes us up to Georgian Bay in northern Ontario. Smallmouth bass are a favorite fish to many anglers, and for good reasons. They fight hard and are usually quite willing to hit a variety of baits. Clear waters always add to the challenge. Time to slow down and work good areas with a little extra finesse. And paying attention to your electronics can turn a tough day into one that is very special. Light lines with long leaders, small weights, a few tricks, and you might even encounter a few unexpected surprises. Keep it simple this week on Fishful Thinking. Fishful Thinking is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Princecraft boats dominate the waters. Humminbird Helix Fish Finders. And Ram trucks built to serve. Water conditions are brought to you by Humminbird Fish Finders. Get the big picture. Big waters can blow up fast, but you can be more comfortable. Smooth out your ride with Smooth Move's shock-absorbing seat suspensions.
This is so much fun. Where are you going, buddy? You're going this way. Tighten that down a little bit. Clear waters, heavily fished areas. What do? Finesse fishing. And I mean, make it simple. Go back old school. I've got a light line, light rod, and a split shot on the line. But I'll show you something else I've done differently with that split shot. But it's finesse. When you let something drop painfully slow to these fish, it just fools them. Okay, you are just, I don't want to tighten my drag up anymore, but you're just digging away. Where are you going, fish? Get out of the motor. Get down deep, deep, deep if he's heading for the motor. And I've got spot lock on here on my Minn Kota. That's holding me exactly in the spot. Use my Humminbird to find a nice little outcrop of rock here. I'm just keeping myself, and I'm casting back to it. I'm just quiet, keeping it simple. There we are. Look at you. Look at you, sweetheart. Wow, I saw a couple of good marks down there. I didn't know you were that good. Ooh, you're out. That is a sweetheart of a smallmouth bass. Let me put you back down. There you go. Gotta dig out the rest of my baits. I still have one here. I'm using these little set the hook flat side shads. Heavily scented with bait fuel. Just a little split shot on the line. I'll show you something I'm doing to that special in a few minutes. And I'm just hooking that ever so slightly through the nose and letting them inhale the whole thing. And like I said, I've gone through this area. My Humminbird showed me some beautiful outcroppings. I got side imaging on this, and it showed me some edges. My Minn Kota has spot lock, so my outcropping is right there. The wind's blowing this way. I'm just letting it hold me here. And very finesse. It's going to drop real slow. I'm casting this back to that spot and letting it sink down. Sometimes when you've set up in an area, the fish are a little spooky. So have a sandwich, sit down, let the spot lock set up, let them get used to the boat, stay quiet, and next thing you know, you haven't disturbed these fish, they're back feeding, and you're catching fish. Just light lines, light little drop shot hooks, a finesse rod. This is a Tatula Elite. And if a fish is starting to come up and jump, sometimes you can change the direction on them by just putting that rod down a little bit. If you keep pulling them up, they're going to keep pulling up. Sometimes you can break their spirit a little bit and keep them down. But he's... Come on, buddy, come on, buddy. Don't jump. So much fun. You have to have patience. There's so many times this year I've had to use patience for jigs dropping so slow for the fish. And this is no different. If it plummets down, it looks unnatural. Oh, you got a couple of fellas with you. Yeah, don't worry guys, I'll be back for you. Go back to your little shoal. Swim right in there, thank you. Just another dandy. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing here as soon as I get you out. So much fun. So much fun. All right, back you go. Down you go. Now, like I said, light line. Where is it? I have my braid right here. I've got a double uni knot, and all of this right down to here is 8-pound test Seaguar fluorocarbon. Back off that wall a little bit. Little hook. Like I said, it's steep here. I'm still in 19 feet of water right now. But when I'm using an 8-pound test leader, I don't want to be crimping a split shot on my line, because now I've damaged it. Now you got a weak spot. What I do is I take another piece of line, I use a uni knot, tighten that down on the line, and with that little tag I leave, that is what I crimp my split shot on. So you can clamp that on as tight as you want, change them, add them, you're not damaging your line, because like I said, there's the split shot, there's my hook, but with a uni knot, there's the uni knot, I can slide that up my line, I can slide that down my line, and I can change it, but I'm not damaging that line. And that split shot, it's just on that tag.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Mercury. Power and dependability you can count on.
You know, tuning crankbaits is actually quite simple, but it's very important to get that lure running straight. Now, some lures will walk a little to the right and come back center, walk a little to the left and come back center, and that's great too, but when they're constantly running sideways, it just scares the fish. So if you have a crankbait that is running to its right, simply bend the wire to the left. If it's running to its left, bend it to the right. Now, some crankbaits have very thin little wire line ties where it's easy to grab that wire and bend it over a little bit. Be very careful, because some lips will crack quite easily. You got to be very careful when you grab that little wire and bend it. Some lures, like these Freedom Ultra Divers, have a very thick wire built heavy duty in it. And sometimes just a little simple bend doesn't make it move far enough. In that case, grab some split ring pliers, put it right through that eyelet, and very carefully give it a little extra oomph against the lip. You can use that lip to pry it. Not all lures are built as strong as some of these ones with a thicker lip, so you have to judge yourself on thin lip versus thick lip of what you can get away with. But make no mistake about it, it's that line tie that makes the whole difference. you want that crankbait running straight. Again, if it's running to its right, bend it to the left. If it's running to its left, bend it to the right, and you can check it cast after cast, make sure it's dead straight at different speeds. And depending how you fish, you gotta remember you're bouncing off of rocks and debris at the bottom. So if it's not running perfectly straight and it's already not running right, it's not going to center itself and attract those fish. Balance your crankbaits, you will catch more fish.
Conditions today are brought to you by Revo Sunglasses. See what others don't.
That's as far as I'm going to crank that drag. You trust your hooks are in and just be with it. Okay, spot lock, I'm taking you off again for a second. And I'm just going to spin myself. I'm more for the lighting for the camera person, is I know how bad I can get backlit. Oh, that's a nice one. Stay on, stay on, stay on. Silky smooth drag is so important. And like I said, when you don't put that split shot on your line, you're not damaging the line. There's a beautiful bass. You gonna go this way? Beautiful. Look at the colors on that. Come on, come on. Like I said, they do all their fighting down, and down he goes again. Some days when I've done this, they all jump, they're all skipping across the surface, and sometimes the water's a little warm up here, so they want to get back down. Almost. Oh, look at this guy. That's what it's all about right there. Oh, don't put the hook in me. Look at this. Yeah, I've got a huge assortment of these flat-side shads, different colors, different sizes. They're all bait fuel. I've taken them all out of the package to organize. You know what? That one's going to go in the live well. And I'm going to take a nice picture of that because I just never stop enough. Beautiful, beautiful bass. Just look at this. That's a tank and a half. Awesome. All right, buddy. That is a gorgeous fish. All right. Oh, water's not as warm as I thought it was. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, leader still feels good. I think my uni knot slid a little bit. Move that back up the line a little bit. At least 2, maybe 3 feet. That's been working. And grab another one of these. Let me try this color just to break it up a little bit. And all I'm doing, you want it, you don't want it to twist and twirl when it drops. I'm just hooking that ever so lightly, dead center in the nose. I'm not plugging the gap of that hook because I want that biting into the fish. And like I said, I'm just casting that out, and I'm letting it ever so slowly sink. Now with this bait fuel in it, heavily scented, they're going to grab that. You're going to feel tink on that line, but I'm not even reacting too quickly because they do not spit this out. I'm just letting that go down. No motion to it at all. Just straight sink, 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 sink. If they haven't hit it by the time it gets to the bottom, I'll lift it up again, twitch it a couple of times, and drop it again. That's all I'm doing. And even on a slack line, as I'm watching that go down, you'll see your line jump when a fish hits that. More often than not, when you're using a sensitive rod like this in the braided line, you'll feel it almost transmits up that line to a little tink, and you just know there's one, even before you tighten the line back up. But it's nice on a day like this. I've got control of my Minn Kota. I'm not blowing too hard, and I can let it slowly drop. And it's those slow drop tidbits that really fool the fish. When it plummets down to the bottom, something's just not looking right. All right, let me get back up closer to that little ledge. I'll sneak up with my Minn Kota, then put it back on spot lock. That one's been out of the air, out of the water into the air. Another decent fish. And up he comes again. Oh, almost. Oh, there you, that's all you had left in you. And another one, and another one. So this is so much fun. A day like this, you just have to enjoy it. Take advantage of a nice bite like this. I'm having so much fun. I've caught so many fish doing this. Not even showing the little fellas. Because why would I show the little fellas? Why? Why would I do that? So much fun. But don't get carried away and forget to check your leader. Always check your hook. Make sure it's sharp, because it's got these bass have tough mouths. They feed on crayfish. There's a lot of gristle and bone you got to get a hook through. There we go. Another sweetheart of a fish. Oh, my thumbs are getting sore doing this, but I'd like if you grip them really hard in the bottom jaw like this, you don't, they kind of stop shaking and flopping around. Ooh, you were in there. There we go. Just so much fun. When they're on, they're just a blast. And back you go. Straight down. That is so much fun. Well, I've got another couple of spots over here too I want to try. It's hard to leave a spot like this, but they are starting to slow down. They're getting, they're starting to know I'm here. But I've got a few more spots I want to try, and hey, when the bite is on, the bite is on. Oh, are you a walleye? Oh, like I said, you catch everything doing this. Okay, there's my little double uni knot to my braid. I don't want the fish seeing my braid, and I got about 8 feet of fluorocarbon right there. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Not yet. Not yet, but soon. Not yet, but soon. Look at you. Talk about a bonus fish. Yes, I'm bass fishing. There's a bonus. Where you hooked? Right there, and you're out. Look at that. Gorgeous walleye. Just beautiful.
Fishful Thinking is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Princecraft boats dominate the waters. Seagar smack down braided lines. And Ram trucks built to serve. Tackle today Daiwa Ballistic LT Light and Tough Spinning Reels. 15-pound test Seagar Smackdown High Performance Braided Lines. Daiwa Tatula Elite 7-foot Finesse Drop Shot Rods. 8-pound test Seagar 100% fluorocarbon leader material. Set the hook, flat-sided shad with bait fuel. The Minn Kota Altera trolling motor with spot lock. Humminbird fish finders with Mega Side Imaging Plus. 100% protection from UV, A, B, and C with Revo sunglasses. Smooth Moves shock-absorbing seat suspensions. Designed for multi-species, the Princecraft Expedition 200. Mercury 225 horsepower 4-stroke motor. And the Ram 2500 with 6.7-liter Cummins diesel engine.
Look at that. So much fun. That little freedom, it catches everything.
It does.
It's a finesse technique, and that set the hook with bait fuel in it. They taste that bait fuel, they won't let it go.